Hello students. So in this class we will be learning how to interface keyboard to 8051. I have used here the name interfacing hexpad to 8051 because the explanation will be done based on the small 4x4 matrix key hexpad. That's why I have taken the name interfacing hexpad. But the main theory behind will be interfacing keyboard to 8051. Okay, we know that keyboard is the primary device to enter text, isn't it? So it's a basic device um, that communicates that uh, through which the communication takes place between humans and the computers, right? So we know the typical keyboard contains keys for individual letters, numbers, and special characters, and we have keys for specific functions. Um, but the layout, if you see there, the layout would be varying. All right. So the most widely used layout in English language is called QWERTY layout. It is named after the sequence of the first 6 letters from the top left. I hope you have laptops in front of you. If you observe there, the letters starts from Q, W, E, R, T, Y. So that is the popular layout which we follow, and that is the one which is followed in most of the keyboards, right? But based on the different functions, the layout also may vary. Okay. So in this class, you will be discussing interfacing keyboard, how it works and all. So by the end of this class, you will be able to describe the interfacing of XPad to 8051. So the keyboards are generally organized in a matrix form. Okay. So the matrix would contain rows and columns, all right? So the CPU will access both rows and columns through two different ports, all right? Since we know the each port in 8051 has 8 pins, then at the most we can have 8x8 matrix of keys that can be connected to 8051. So when a key is pressed, what happens? A row and a column will make a contact. Otherwise, there is no contact between rows and columns. So in IBM PC keyboards, a single microcontroller will be taking care of the hardware and software interfacing of the keyboard. So what happens here is exactly the microcontroller function is to identify whether the key is pressed and identify which one is pressed, that is key, which key is pressed, and present it to the motherboard. So that is the way we understand whenever we type, that will be identified or understood by the motherboard, the key that we have pressed, and the same thing will be displayed on the LCD or the monitor, isn't it? So that would be a separate interfacing again. So interfacing LCD or a monitor or any display device too for that matter. So that would be the discussion which we will be having in the next classes. All right. So that will be a separate interfacing again. Now we will be discussing only interfacing keyboard. So identifying whether a key is pressed and identifying which key is pressed. Okay. So as I said in the previous slide, the matrix would look like this. Okay. The rows and columns will be in a form of matrix like this. So whenever there is contact, that is whenever a key is pressed, there will be contact between row and column. All right. So as I mentioned, uh, we will be using two ports to connect rows and columns. Okay. The rows will be the output port. All right. And the columns lines will be connected to the input port. Okay. So whenever a key is pressed, now identify here, this is a simplest 4x4 matrix. Okay, the rows are connected to the output port and the columns are connected to the input port. Identify there the row 0 or D naught has the keys 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so row 1 or D1 has keys 4, 5, 6, 7. Row 2 has keys, that is D2 has keys 8, 9, A and B, and the last row D3 has keys C, D, E, F. That's why I have mentioned here this is the simplest hex pad because you have hex keys 0 to F, right? Okay, so what happens here is the processor or the microcontroller, in fact, you will have a program in such a way that first you have to know whether a key is pressed or not. That is the one thing. So that process we call it as scanning whether a key is pressed or not. All right. Now once we know that yes, a key is pressed, then the next task would be to identify which key is pressed. All right. Now observe here, the columns are all connected to VCC. Okay, so since the row lines are output lines, so all rows will be grounded. Okay, in the sense that all rows will be sent with value 0. All right. Now columns lines are connected to VCC. Now observe what happens. Whenever a key is pressed, that row and column will have contact. So when you read that particular column, that is from port 2, if you read the data uh, via these 4 lines, then the the column at which there was a key pressed, that would be showing you 0 value. Otherwise what, if no key is pressed, then you will be getting all high values because all columns are connected to VCC. Okay, same thing is explained in this slide, whatever I explained in the previous slide. So the function of the microcontroller will be to scan the keyboard continuously, and whenever a key is pressed, then it has to identify which key is pressed. Okay, now observe here. If initially what will be done, all rows will be grounded. Okay, providing 0 to the output latch. So the output port, a 0 value will be sent to all the lines. There are 4 lines now, isn't it? So D3, D1, D2, D4, D0 to D3, all 4 rows will have 0 value. So when you read from the columns, if the data read from the columns will be 1111 if no key is pressed. If none of the keys are pressed, then what you'll be reading at the port 2, that is input port, all values will be high, 1111. Observe if one of the column bits has a 0 value. For example, if you have 1101, that means the D1 line, that is at the column D1 line, one of the keys are pressed here. Let me go back to previous slide. Here, observe. If D1, if you are getting 0 value, 1101, then one of these keys had to be pressed, either 1, 5, 9 or D. All right. So that is the meaning. So first task would be scanning whether a key is pressed. That is what the microcontroller usually do. Okay. The next task is identify which key is pressed. All right. So in today's discussion, we will limit ourselves to scanning the whether the key is pressed or not. Okay. So the steps followed by the microcontroller will be ground all the row lines, okay, and it reads the column if any of the row is having value, or any of the column is having value 0. Okay, if no key is pressed, then all lines will be reading 1. Okay, at the input port you will be getting all ones if none of the keys are pressed. So the procedure is, the microcontroller will be, once if it identifies that a key is pressed, then the microcontroller will be grounding each row one at a time and read the particular column. Okay, so first it will ground row 0 or D0, then read the column. So if again, if you are getting 0 at that particular column, then the key from D0 and D0 from column 0 would be the key pressed. So if it is not 0, then it would go ground the next row. So this process will continue for all the rows. All right. So once, say, for particular row there is the column is reading 0, then it is easier to identify the key that is being pressed. All right. So this is the process that will be followed by the microcontroller. Now consider this example. From the figure, identify the row and column of the pressed key for each of the following. So this is a simplest 4x4 hex pad. Now, if the condition is, if the data read is 1101, then identify the key out of row for 1101. And if it is 1011, identify the key for the column. Identify the key that is pressed for the column. Okay. Similarly, for 1101 for the row and 0111 for column. I'll pause for a while. You just analyze. For the first condition, 1101, it means that the row belongs to D0, isn't it? And the column belongs to D2. So there might be a key pressed in D0 for the first condition, that is 1110, 1110. And for 1011, it is obvious that a key from D2 column might be pressed. Okay. So in the second case, B sub question 1101, it means that the row D1, one of the keys are pressed. Okay. And for the condition 0111, it is obvious that some key from D3 column, the key is pressed. Okay. So this is only an example to make you understand for scanning how to identify, how to know that a key is pressed. All right. So in the next class, we'll be discussing the identification of the key pressed. All right.